ops that might go Drake his and get out that car. You know that? I was right there, you know that?
Casually riding home, bragging about killing a 19-year-old Uber passenger like it was just another score. For years, this case stayed unsolved. No suspect, no arrest. Just a cold-blooded murder that left more questions than answers. But now, new footage has surfaced, and it might change everything. In this video, we're breaking it all down. What really happened, the shocking details, and what this new clip reveals. Stay tuned. A viral video shows Lil Jeff allegedly killing an Uber passenger, and it's been making waves. It's been nearly a year since Lil Jeff was killed, yet clips of him alive keep popping up online. From videos of Jeff dissing his enemies, others where he seemingly incriminates himself, these clips continue to feed the mystery around his life. Recently, an old video allegedly showing Jeff killing an Uber passenger has brought new attention to an unsolved 2023 murder. Since the video resurfaced, fans on Reddit have been going crazy. The clip, originally posted by Jeff on Instagram, starts with him sneaking up on a white Nissan parked at a gas station. When he reaches the back left door, he looks inside the window like he's trying to identify someone. Once he's sure, he steps back and pretends to shoot at the car with his hand shaped like a gun. The caption on the video, "We the biggest trolls, LOL." As soon as it hit Reddit again, the comments blew up. People were bringing back all the drama and controversy that surrounded the case when it first happened. One user said, "At least, bro checked to make sure it was him. Crazy, he probably looked right at him." Another replied, "Well, according to Jeff, dude looked up like he saw a ghost." Someone else added, "Imagine you just chilling in an Uber, look up and see. A drac pointed at you. I'd have said I saw a ghost too." Then a different Reddit user straight up claimed that Jeff was the one who did it, writing, "Crazy part is, he didn't even last a second in that Uber. As soon as he sat down, Jeff pulled up and aired it out." The shooting they're talking about went down on June 25th, 2023. On that day, 19-year-old Yael Goens was sitting in an Uber in the 1300 block of West Taylor Street in Little Italy, Chicago. Just before 9 p.m., a man walked up to the car, pulled out a gun, and fired multiple times before running away on foot. It was eerily similar to what Lil Jeff showed in his video, and many people believe this wasn't just him trolling his enemies. To them, it looked like Jeff was claiming responsibility for the hit on Goens. According to police reports, the rideshare driver rushed Goens to Rush University Medical Center, but sadly, he didn't survive. As news of the shooting spread, more details started coming out, including reports that Goens' mother was somehow involved, but those reports remain unconfirmed. The anti-violence group Project HOOD, led by Pastor Corey Brooks of New Beginnings Baptist Church, called the shooting a senseless act of violence. Pastor Brooks said the organization would honor the memory of their colleague, Goens, working even harder to stop violence in the future. In a news release, he said, "We'll honor the memory of our colleague Goens by intensifying our efforts to prevent such tragedies in the future. Our faith is shaken, but not broken. We'll lean on each other and our community for strength in the coming days, united by our belief that we can and must do better." But Pastor Brooks wasn't the only one to speak up. The rideshare driver that night was later identified as a Lyft driver named Robert Smith. In an interview with the Chicago Sun-Times, Smith said he believed the shooter was following Goens that evening and was waiting for the right moment to trap him inside the car. This matched what a Reddit user said earlier, that Lil Jeff already knew where Goens worked because they used to be cool. That made it easy for him to track Goens' movements. On the day of the shooting, Goens was standing in a doorway on the 1300 block of West Taylor Street, waiting for his ride. Smith picked him up just before 9 p.m. As Goens was getting into the car, another vehicle suddenly pulled up and slammed the brakes. Smith told the Sun-Times, "I looked to see what was going on, and before I could even fully turn my head, I saw someone in my peripheral. Then I noticed a gun pointing at my rear window, so I just took off." Smith said he sped down Taylor Street as the shooter kept firing at them for 2 blocks. When he finally got a chance to check on Goens, he saw that he was badly injured. He rushed him to the nearest hospital, hoping he could survive. Smith said, "I tried to save him. I didn't care about traffic lights or speed cameras. I just wanted him to live. I was praying the whole way. When they pulled him out of the car, I prayed the doctors could do something. Sadly, Goens didn't make it. He was pronounced dead at the hospital." Later, police said they found a handgun in the back seat of Smith's car, but they didn't say whether it belonged to Goens. As more details came out, things only got more shocking. Internet users began identifying Goens as a gang member, known in the streets as Leal from Trap City. Some believe this shooting was revenge for the killing of Lil Jeff's cousin, Zir Nelson, earlier that same year. Not long after, Lil Jeff went live on Instagram, and in that live video, it sounded like he was taking credit for Goens' murder.
Go ask my ops that might go Drake his and get out that car. You know that? I was right there. sir. You know that.
Project HOOD, led by Pastor Corey Brooks of New Beginnings Baptist Church, called the shooting a senseless act of violence. Pastor Brooks said the organization would honor the memory of their colleague, Goins, by working even harder to stop violence in the future. In a news release, he said, "We will honor the memory of our colleague Goins by intensifying our efforts to prevent such tragedies in the future. Our faith is shaken, not broken. We'll lean on each other and our community for strength in the coming days, united by our belief that we can and must do better." But Pastor Brooks wasn't the only one to speak up. The rideshare driver that night was later identified as a Lyft driver named Robert Smith. In an interview with the Chicago Sun-Times, Smith said he believed the shooter was following Goins that evening and was waiting for the right moment to trap him inside the car. This matched what a Reddit user said earlier, that Lil Jeff already knew where Goins worked because they used to be cool. That made it easy for him to track Goins' movements. On the day of the shooting, Goins was standing in a doorway on the 1300 block of West Taylor Street, waiting for his ride. Smith picked him up just before 9 p.m. As Goins was getting into the car, another vehicle suddenly pulled up and slammed the brakes. Smith told the Sun-Times, "I looked to see what was going on, and before I could even fully turn my head, I saw someone in my peripheral. Then I noticed a gun pointing at my rear window, so I just took off." Smith said he sped down Taylor Street as the shooter kept firing at them for 2 blocks. When he finally got a chance to check on Goins, he saw that he was badly injured. He rushed him to the nearest hospital, hoping he could survive. Smith said, "I tried to save him. I didn't care about traffic lights or speed cameras. I just wanted him to live. I was praying the whole way. When they pulled him out of the car, I prayed the doctors could do something. Sadly, Goins didn't make it. He was pronounced dead at the hospital." Later, police said they found a handgun in the back seat of Smith's car, but they didn't say whether it belonged to Goins. As more details came out, things only got more shocking. Internet users began identifying Goins as a gang member, known in the streets as Leal from Trap City. Some believe this shooting was revenge for the killing of Lil Jeff's cousin, Zir Nelson, earlier that same year. Not long after, Lil Jeff went live on Instagram, and in that live video, it sounded like he was taking credit for Goins' murder. While he was yelling, he flashed a gun at the camera. But to understand how it got to this point, we need to go back to where it all started, with the fatal shooting of Lil Jeff's cousin, Zir Nelson, also known as Z Money. On the afternoon of March 16th, 2023, Nelson, who was just 22 years old, was gunned down by a suspected MK shooter. Reports say he was hit 29 times, making survival impossible. Police were never able to identify the shooters, but the killing was believed to be planned and carried out by the Chicago street gang Trap City. This murder kicked off a full-blown war with Drill City, another gang from Chicago whose members are also called the Bloodhounds. Interestingly, Trap City and Drill City used to be allies, but their alliance ended when Lil Jeff allegedly stole a chain from a Trap City member. That one move, stealing a chain, sparked serious tension. Retaliation, Trap City struck first, killing Nelson. As wild as it sounds, that's how the beef began. It's hard to believe that something like a chain could lead to all this violence, but in gang culture, even the smallest disrespect can start something big. In a July 2024 interview, Trap City members Rob and Terrell confirmed this story. They explained that they were once cool with the Bloodhounds, until Lil Jeff snatched someone's chain. Rob said, "You stole the chain, bro. We tried, but he took it. He stole my homie's chain." Now, we may never fully understand how gang culture works, but killing someone over a chain seems extreme, especially when that person was related to someone as feared as Lil Jeff. On top of that, Nelson had strong ties to Drill City, so his death was taken as a direct attack on the gang, and they wanted revenge. Lil Jeff stepped up and led that charge. He eventually got what he wanted when he allegedly killed a Trap City member named Goins. But even then, Lil Jeff wasn't done. 2 months after Goins was killed, Lil Jeff and Q50 reportedly went after another Trap City member named Glenn, shooting him 15 times. Miraculously, Glenn survived. After that, both gangs agreed to a temporary ceasefire, but peace didn't last long. On June 8th, 2024, Lil Jeff went deep into Trap City territory, reportedly to finish the job on Glenn. But the plan backfired. Lil Jeff was killed during the drill. His obsession with revenge became his downfall. It's the only thing that explains why he made that move. What's tragic is that the day started off just like any other. In the early morning hours of June 8th, rapper Bloodhound Lil Vert posted a photo on Instagram of himself, Lil Jeff, and another guy hanging out at a gas station. In the pic, Lil Jeff is wearing a blue hoodie and gray jeans, looking off at someone or something not seen in the frame. Vert captioned it, "In the hood, we good." It looked like a chill moment. They stopped for gas, probably heading somewhere after. But sadly, this turned out to be one of the last photos of Lil Jeff alive. One Reddit user figured out the location. It was Falcon Fuel on 79th and Maryland, which is still within Drill City turf. Another commenter pointed out that the two other men were wearing red and black Nike jackets, the same ones seen on the guys who later dropped Lil Jeff off at the hospital after he had been shot. Hours after that photo was posted, fans learned that Lil Jeff and his crew had left Drill City early that morning to carry out a hit in Trap City territory. Surveillance footage later surfaced online, showing parts of the attack, and fans got to see the agonizing final moments of Lil Jeff's life as clips spread across social media. In the clips shared online, Lil Jeff is seen jumping out of a car and immediately firing multiple shots at a man wearing yellow shorts. It's unclear how many times the man was hit, but the video shows him running into a nearby building while Lil Jeff chases and keeps shooting. Just as Lil Jeff is about to enter the building, multiple shots are fired from inside, hitting him and causing him to fall down the steps and onto the front porch. According to eyewitnesses, the shooter then stood over Lil Jeff and fired an entire magazine into him at point-blank range. Although this part wasn't caught on video, the sounds of the shots can be heard in a second clip that shows a different angle of the shooting. From that second angle, you can see two men and the getaway driver reacting to Lil Jeff getting shot. The man in the red outfit is later identified as Q50, Lil Jeff's cousin. He is seen returning fire at the building where Jeff was gunned down. At one point, Q50 even shoots at a passing car that didn't seem involved at first. But after closely watching both clips, viewers noticed that the man Jeff was chasing earlier had been talking to the driver of that car, suggesting it might have been part of the setup. Once the car passed, Q50 and another man dressed in all black started walking toward the building while exchanging gunfire with the shooters inside. Seconds later, they're seen running back to the getaway car, with Q50 clearly limping, possibly after being hit in the leg. Just before they drive off, the getaway driver steps out, looks back at Jeff still lying on the ground, and after realizing it's too late to help him, he sadly gets back in the car and speeds away. According to police scanner recordings, Lil Jeff was shot 19 times, and by the time officers arrived, all the suspects were gone, leaving behind a chaotic crime scene. About 58 shell casings were found, with more than a third of them located right on the porch where Jeff was killed. Even though there was blood everywhere, police didn't find Lil Jeff at the scene. But one neighbor told officers that two men returned after the shooting and carried Jeff to the hospital. Later, a photo surfaced online confirming this. It showed Q50 and the man in black carrying Jeff's body off the porch. They rushed him to the hospital, but doctors later confirmed that he didn't survive. A few days after the shooting, rumors started spreading like wildfire online. People claimed that a Trap City member named Robert Coleman, aka Trap City Rob, was the one who shot Lil Jeff. The rumors took off after an old video surfaced showing Rob sitting on the same porch where Jeff was killed smoking weed. The video quickly went viral, and Rob gained internet fame, with fans jokingly calling him the Defensive Player of the Year. Despite all the attention, Rob has always denied being the shooter. In a late 2024 interview on DJV, he was asked about being named as the killer, and his answer was,
I just feel like they bogus, man. Whoever started that, man, please stop doing stuff like that. Like, for real, it's like real life, though, you know? So, it's not no video game. It's not no movie, you know what I'm saying? It's reality, so.
Yeah.
He gets a lot of attention whenever he walks around in public, but says he doesn't pay much attention to it. According to him, he wishes things could go back to how they were before Lil Jeff was killed. Months after the shooting, Chicago police eventually arrested Rob in connection to Lil Jeff's murder. Even though Rob kept claiming the accusations were false, court documents stated there was probable cause for his arrest. A witness placed Rob at the scene of the shooting, and there was also electronic surveillance evidence linking him to the crime. Despite the witness statement, the murder charges were later dropped due to lack of evidence. Rob was instead charged with unlawful possession of a handgun, and as of November last year, he was still reported to be in prison. Since his arrest, several videos of Rob mocking Lil Jeff and other Bloodhound members have gone viral. In one clip, Rob is in what looks like a recording studio rapping. "Don't fall, you better not slip. These Mao talking about sliding. I just watched him slip. This is not a game, better get a grip." In another video, Rob and other Trap City members recreate how Lil Jeff was killed at the same building where the murder happened, clearly mocking Jeff's death. Rob seems to have fully embraced his image as Lil Jeff's alleged killer. Whether more twists are still to come, only time will tell. But Lil Jeff continues making headlines, even after death, as he was recently tied to another brutal crime, a double homicide involving 2 high school students. Lil Jeff implicated in Chicago double homicide. On Friday, January 26, 2024, a horrifying incident in downtown Chicago shocked the city and brought attention to the growing problem of gun violence. That afternoon, 2 teenage boys were shot and killed as they were leaving their high school. The shooting happened around 12:30 p.m. near Washington Street and Wabash Avenue. Reports say the teens were part of a group of students leaving Innovations High School for lunch when 2 cars pulled up and a group of masked gunmen jumped out, opening fire on the students. The 2 victims were later identified as 16-year-old Robert Boston, aka Lil Rob, and 17-year-old Monterio Williams, aka Monty. Both boys were said to be affiliated with the BKN Street Gang, and they had reportedly been in a feud with Lil Jeff before the shooting. Surveillance footage from the scene was later released online, showing how the attack played out. In the E-Didis video, the students are walking near the elevators at the Washington Wabash train station when a dark blue Infiniti pulls up. 3 gunmen hop out and start shooting, firing for around 15 seconds. People nearby scramble to get away, and both boys are seen falling to the ground. The shooters then jump back in the car and speed off. But thanks to various surveillance cameras and license plate readers, police were able to track the car as it drove through Stevenson Expressway and DuSable Lakeshore Drive, eventually making its way to South Suburban Dolton and Calumet City. Back at the scene, another video captured the aftermath, showing the 2 victims on the ground surrounded by shocked students. In one heartbreaking moment, a teen can be heard screaming, "Ah!" a painful sound that would later be sampled by Lil Jeff in a diss track. According to reports, Monty was shot in the hip and chest, while Lil Rob was hit in the chest. Both were rushed to Northwestern Memorial Hospital in critical condition, but sadly died within 15 minutes of the attack. Shockingly, Lil Jeff shared a video on Instagram less than 15 minutes after the shooting, showing himself and 2 other masked men inside what looked like the same Infiniti used in the attack. In the Instagram video, Lil Jeff eventually drops his mask, revealing his identity. The 3 men in the car are visibly excited as they rap lyrics about wearing masks, riding in a stolen car, and shooting at ops. As if that wasn't incriminating enough, about 3 weeks after the shooting, Lil Jeff dropped a song titled "Ah," where he seemingly takes credit for the double homicide. In one verse he raps, "When I speak, it's only facts. He was screaming ah when he got hit. Ah, real tough up on the net. Now he on the floor looking like a blank. Just walked in lids for 2 hats, really stepping on blood. No, how it get." While Jeff didn't mention any names, fans quickly connected the lyrics to the chilling scream heard in the footage after the shooting. It was clear who he was talking about. Unbeknownst to Lil Jeff, the Chicago Police Department had already named him a person of interest in the double homicide after receiving an anonymous tip. The tip not only named Jeff as one of the shooters, but also pointed police to the Instagram video he posted just 15 minutes after the shooting. On January 29, 2025, nearly a year after the incident, police arrested Tommy Coleman, aka T-Slick, as the first suspect connected to the deaths of Monty and Lil Rob. T-Slick was charged with 2 felony counts of first-degree murder, 1 count of attempted first-degree murder, aggravated discharge of a firearm from an occupied vehicle, possession of a weapon by a felon, and a citation for failing to register a firearm. During his first court appearance, prosecutors revealed that a witness recognized all 3 suspects, Lil, Jeff, T-Slick, and the 3rd man, from the Instagram video. The witness also pointed out that they had seen T-Slick with the other 2 men in multiple videos online. Detectives compared footage from Instagram and YouTube to surveillance video from Innovations High School. They discovered that the 3rd suspect was a student at the school and found footage of him leaving about 90 minutes before the shooting. Using CTA security cameras, detectives tracked the student to Roosevelt Station, where he was seen getting into the same Infiniti SUV used in the attack, at a parking lot on Canal Street. On February 3, 2025, police arrested 20-year-old James Allison, aka J-Mo, in Crown Point, Indiana. He was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count of attempted murder, aggravated discharge of a firearm, aggravated unlawful possession of a weapon. With Lil Jeff now dead, the legal consequences of the double murder will fall squarely on T-Slick and J-Mo, even though investigators believe it was Lil Jeff who orchestrated the attack. Lil Jeff linked to another shooting. But the story doesn't end there. After his death, Lil Jeff has been tied to yet another murder. In May 2024, a fatal shooting occurred outside a liquor store on the 7900 block of South Cottage Grove in Chicago. Surveillance footage from a nearby camera showed 2 cars pulling up and then 4 men running up to the front of the store, where they opened fire on a group of 3 men. 2 of the victims survived with injuries, but the 3rd man, later identified as NLMB Ty, died from his wounds. To this day, the shooters have not been officially identified, but in recent weeks, Reddit users have claimed that Lil Jeff was one of the attackers. A close-up image from the surveillance footage was posted on Reddit, and several users pointed out that the man in the photo closely resembled Lil Jeff, noting that he was wearing a distinct hoodie the rapper had often been seen in. Others also claimed that one of the getaway cars in the video, a dark-colored Infiniti SUV, was the same vehicle Lil Jeff and his crew used during previous attacks. While this information hasn't been verified by law enforcement, it wouldn't be the first time that social media sleuthing helped investigators. After all, it was a tip from a social media user that helped implicate Jeff in the double homicide.